In this video, we'll see how we can use SafeNet authentication service to authenticate to CryptoAuditor. So when a user wants to SSH to a destination Unix server, he will SSH to CryptoAuditor using his SAS credentials, and then CryptoAuditor use map credentials to access the server behind it and audit everything happening. We're going to spin up this CryptoAuditor VM in AWS and just use the default settings to get it ready. It takes a couple of minutes for AWS to prepare the instance. Just need to select the right configuration, accept the settings, and the instance is being initiated. So first thing we want to do is to look at the IP address that AWS gave us for this instance. So this IP address starting in 54 is the public IP address. And we're going to take this and configure it in SAS so that we can have radius authentication coming from this instance. Going to the authentication node and add a new authentication node for CryptoAuditor. And since we're going to use radius, we need a radius shared secret. And this shared secret will have to match what we will configure later on in CryptoAuditor. So here we go, we have CryptoAuditor configured in our authentication node. And now that the instance is ready, we can access the administration UI. We can authenticate as administrator, and by default the password is your instance ID. I'm going to review everything here and accept the license. Okay, first thing to do is to change the password from the instance ID to our own password. So we set a password and apply. Next step is to load a license file, which in this case were provided by SSH. So I can simply upload the license file. And now we can start configuring CryptoAuditor to work with SAS. So under Settings, External Authentication, we can add a radius server, which is the radius server provided by SAS. So we can take this IP address here and put it in CryptoAuditor. And again, we need a shared secret, which needs to match the shared secret that was generated or entered in SAS. Okay, now we can save that. Next step is to create a rule so that CryptoAuditor knows what to do when a user SSH into CryptoAuditor and redirect the SSH session. So we create this rule with the basic settings using the default Bastion listener, and we need to give a name to this rule. Okay, so the authentication between the client, meaning it's going to be PuTTY, and the hound, which is CryptoAuditor, is going to be radius, using the radius configuration that we set up. And then between the hound and the backend server, we're going to use map credentials, and we're just going to use a fixed destination server for testing, and which is just keep all settings default and save that. Now, between CryptoAuditor, the terminal server, the destination server, we are going to use map credentials. So SAS user 1 will be the user authenticating into CryptoAuditor, and the user on the destination server will be root. So here we map the credentials to the root server using the root username and password. Now that everything is configured, we are going to have that SAS user 1 user authenticating to a Redis server, being SAS, to access the backend server. Everything is ready, so we can apply the changes. And we can SSH into CryptoAuditor as SAS user 1. We are being prompted to enter SAS user 1 credentials, which in this case is the SAS one-time password. And now we have access to the backend Linux server that we were trying to access, and we can run some command to verify that we reached the right destination. So in this case, I know that my Linux box is CentOS, so I can verify that I'm on the right server. Now, if I go back to CryptoAuditor and I see on the home page, I can see that session was established. And if I click on it, we can actually live stream all the commands issued on the terminal. Alright, so it takes a couple of seconds to refresh, but basically if we run a command on the PuTTY terminal and execute it, a few seconds later it will appear on the live stream. There you go. And we can go back to SAS and actually see in the snapshot that log that the SAS user 1 was authenticated from the CryptoAuditor IP address. CryptoAuditor can do more than just SSH. We can also use it for RDP sessions. So we are going to configure a rule for RDP, and we're going to configure the same type of authentication going through the SAS Redis server. But now we're going to specify the Windows server as a destination. Next, we need to specify a new user mapping. So we're going to use the same user going to the Redis server, SAS, but now pointing to that Windows box using the RDP protocol. And we are going to specify the Windows credential on this box. We can now apply the pending changes. And now we're ready to RDP to CryptoAuditor. I'm going to reduce the size of the window. So now we authenticate as SAS user 1 using a one-time password, which is going to be verified by SAS. The session is open, and as you can see, we are now authenticated as the user Ambushner on this Windows box. And if you refresh the logs in SAS, we see that SAS user 1 was authenticated successfully. Thank you for watching.